Hi, and welcome to Lantern Cat Crafts. Today we're going to be talking about the safety precautions before handling epoxy resin. There's a lot to cover, but it's all vital in keeping you safe. So let's get started.
Safety tip number 1, the SDS. Your resin will come with a safety data sheet, or SDS. If this information is not provided with the product, the manufacturer should have it available online. It is highly recommended that once you settle on a resin brand, you take the time to read over their SDS. It will provide the proper safety recommendations for that specific product and offer guidance on things like if you'll need to wear a respirator while mixing the resin, and what to do if it gets on your skin or in your mouth. Safety tip number 2, a well-ventilated room. You must have a well-ventilated room where you can mix and cure your resin. Open a window, turn on your fan, and keep your doors to the room open. If you're worried your ventilation is not enough, wear a NIOSH-approved respirator fitted with organic vapor cartridges, like 3M's 6001 cartridges. Safety tip number 3, glove up. Before you even open a bottle of resin, you're going to need to get your gloves on. Skin contact with uncured resin and its hardener can cause irritation, rashes, and burning. Repeated skin contact can induce an allergic reaction called contact dermatitis, so you'll want to practice zero contact safety with resin, even when it's listed as non-toxic. Use nitrile or vinyl gloves to protect your hands. Do not use latex gloves as they are thinner, can tear more frequently, and resin can permeate the glove barrier. Also, if you get into making your own silicone molds, latex can inhibit the curing of silicone. Stick to nitrile or vinyl. Safety tip number 4, wash your hands. If you get resin on your skin, wash it off immediately. It's very sticky, and remember, repeated contact can cause an allergic reaction. Check your manufacturer's SDS to be sure, but most will recommend dish soap and warm water to remove resin from skin. Safety tip number 5, resin-only tools. Make sure that you have resin-only tools. You can absolutely take your silicone baking tools from the kitchen and use them for crafting, but once you put resin on your tools or in your molds, that's it. They now belong only to resin. You don't want to use a silicone muffin cup for a resin project and then bake muffins in it a week later. Once a tool is used for resin, it should only be used for resin. Safety tip number 6, a dedicated space. Have a space dedicated to your resin crafting. It'll be easier to keep clean, and you won't risk other crafts coming into contact with uncured resin and hardener. Safety tip number 7, get ready. Get your resin-only space ready for your project before you even mix your resin. Once you've got your resin mixed, you'll want to move relatively quickly to get it tinted and into the mold. You don't want to waste that precious pot life by not having your materials ready beforehand. Having your materials ready to go also means it's far less likely your uncured resin will go where it's not supposed to. Safety tip number 8, sanding safety. Cured resin pieces will often need sanding and finishing. Sanding resin produces a lot of dust that you should not breathe in. It's bad for your lungs and can induce the same allergic reaction as skin exposure. Before you take your pieces anywhere near sandpaper, protect your eyes with safety goggles and put on a respirator equipped with particulate filters, like the 3M 2097 filters. This will avoid dust inhalation.
And that's it for the safety precautions before handling epoxy resin. There's a lot to keep in mind, but it's all to keep you safe and comfortable while crafting. Thank you for watching.